Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about some tips and tricks on how to go job hunting in Qatar. So guys, if you haven't already, I'll encourage you to like and subscribe this video, and please share this video to anyone who you feel like might be in need of this information. So let's get down straight into it. Now, if you're in Qatar in 2025 or looking to come to Qatar in this 2025, then for now the job market it's not that bad per se, but it's a little bit shaky. So here are some small tips and tricks to help you have the upper hand on landing your next job in Qatar. So guys, the first key point we're going to be talking about is for you to expand your scope. As much as we live in a digital age today where most things are handled online, guys, don't forsake the old-fashioned way of just printing up your CVs and going from going all around to drop the CVs in person. Now, the reason why I put that as the first point is that most people often overlook that. They're like, okay, I'll stay at home, I'll stay on the job search sites and just send my CVs to as many companies as possible. Yes, good and fine, that still works to an extent, but the thing is that today these companies, they receive thousands of CVs every single day, and they don't have the time or the manpower to go through sifting through all of those CVs for potential candidates. So you might be actually qualified for a certain job or a certain position, but just the method of sending your CVs through maybe Indeed or LinkedIn might not get you that access to the opportunity of being hired. So I think to have an edge over most people, because most people don't do that, they just sit at home and send the CVs, it's very essential for you to take out time yourself and drop the CVs. Sorry about that, guys. Take out time yourself and drop the CVs in person. Okay guys, still on that point, the one thing you should know is that here in Qatar, it's allowed to an extent to go to a particular spot to drop your CV, but you have to be mindful of the timing, and you also have to be mindful of the type of place you're attempting to do that. Some places have very high security, or some places don't just support the idea of you coming in person to drop your CV. They always want to refer you to their site and everything. But other places like maybe schools, restaurants, some offices, these management offices, you could possibly go there in person and just have a shot at it. And this helps you build up your confidence in meeting, because I've had situations where people actually go there and ended up having an interview, just like maybe the manager or the HR, and they admire their courage of coming there in person, and they schedule them for an interview there and there. That has in fact happened to me a couple of times here in Qatar. So definitely do that. Get dressed, print up your CV, include all your qualifications and everything, and just go there in person and try your luck. And who knows, maybe you might just be lucky. Okay guys, for the next tip I'm going to be talking about is diversifying your resume. Now, what do I mean by that? I don't imply that you have 20 different resumes talking about all types of skills which you don't possess, but you have to diversify your resume. Make different CVs for different positions which that you could be prolific in, guys. Don't just be the guy who has one CV for one position and is using that same CV to apply for different type of jobs, guys. The employers won't take you serious with such an approach, guys. If you're going in for a management job, or for a safety job, or for a health job, or whatever, you have to make each of the resumes to be different from the other. Don't just have one resume. It's not a one size fits all situation where you just have one resume that you send to all the different type of employers and everything, because it's going to be quite funny. For example, if you're applying to be a teacher and you're sending the CV as a safety inspector or a health inspector, that is definitely not going to work. It's not going to get you hired. Make sure that all your resumes are tailored specifically for the particular sector which you are going in for. Guys, for the next thing which we are going to be talking about is be bold in your presentation and your approach. Now, what do I mean by this? Most people, because out of desperation or maybe just maybe fear or something, they tend to make their CVs or their skills just entry level. Yes, while it's good to be honest on your CV if you don't have experience, but that particular approach, it doesn't help you in the job market, because most of the employers are looking for people who have some sort of experience already, especially in the Gulf region, to come and work for them. So even if you are new to Qatar, like if you have never been in Qatar before, this is your first time being in the country, don't mention that part in your resume, guys. It definitely won't do you any favors. Yes, you can look for a way to maybe mention that, okay, you are new in Qatar, but you have experience in other Gulf countries. Maybe you worked in Dubai for some time, or you worked in Bahrain for some time, you worked in Oman for some time. That's a wiser approach than just stating the resume, or stating in the resume that you have no experience at all working in Qatar or working in the Gulf region. That is definitely a sure way not to get any call or any interview back from the employer. So guys, try to be bold in your presentation. Don't be unrealistically bold by putting too many lies in your CVs and everything, because that will eventually also make the employer to be suspicious about what you are saying, and maybe if you are scheduled for an interview, you will not be able to back those claims. But still, try to portray yourself as someone who at least has a mastery of the specific subject which you are talking about on your CV, because it's going to be at least an advantage for you that the employer can schedule an interview with you to know more about your skills, about your your skill set, your experiences and everything. In the interview, you can argue your case any way you want. You can argue your case, you can convince the employer, you can make them feel or make them know that no, this guy is really qualified for this position. But before you do that, before you get to the stage of the interview, you have to make your resume to be as attractive as possible. I'm going to do a specific video on resumes that work in Qatar and ones that don't work, so stay tuned to the channel, like, subscribe this video for more. We got tons of contents coming up. So guys, for the last thing I'm going to be talking about is your physical presentation. Guys, please, I mentioned this one in the previous video and I have to emphasize on it again. Before going out for an interview or looking for a job in person, first impressions usually carry about 90% of the interaction, guys. So don't go for a job interview unprepared. You have to look neat, you have to look your best, you have to be well dressed, because that's literally the first time the potential employer is seeing you. So before you even get to the point of trying to convince them, tell them about your skill set and everything, that presentation alone can literally dictate whether you get the job or not. You might be very, very experienced and knowledgeable in a particular field, but because your presentation that day, your look that day wasn't neat enough, you will not be taken serious by the employer. So please, guys, do your best, get a nice suit, get a nice dress or whatever. Be neat, be punctual, like be on time. But if possible, about 15 minutes to an hour before the interview, to communicate punctuality to the employer, because those are the kind of traits which the employer likes to see. It shows them that you are someone who takes the interview serious and who is really motivated to commit to the company. So guys, your presentation, your hair and everything has to be neat and has to be on point. So guys, that'll be all for today. I just wanted to put a short update out there. Thank you so much for watching. If you find this video interesting, if you find this video useful, drop a like and a comment below. Let me know your own experiences. I'm sure there are tons of other things I left out, but I didn't want this video to be too long. So comment below on what you think about this video, or what you think about the subject, like advices which you can give based on your own experience. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.